Hi guys, it's Harvey from All Parts Pool and Spa. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about, a lot of people get confused about a Sta-Rite pressure relief valve. And mainly the pressure relief valve is usually used for a commercial application. But if your inspector says he wants a relief valve on it, you should do it. Okay, well, you have to do it, especially on a commercial application. It should be done. If you ever saw one of these 400,000 BTU heaters dry fire, it is unbelievable. And the pressure relief valve, if it does dry fire, will help some of the major damage that happens. Now, I don't really believe in putting a elbow here. You have to remember is if this relief valve is going to pop, it's usually due towards a dry fire where a lack of water flow and you're building up more than 50 pounds of PSI pressure. Okay? Well, you have to, what is it? I think water multiplies like 67 times um, versus steam. So if you got a gallon of water in this heat exchanger, it's capable of 67 gallons, I believe, going to try to pop out of this relief valve. So you got a lot of shooting going on. So you want to be aware what could happen. But where the mistake lies, and I see it all the time, they go, okay, I'm going to put a long nipple on here, and I'm going to go to Home Depot or Ace and buy a hot water relief valve. And I wouldn't say a hot water tank, because my pet peeve is why you're trying to heat up hot water. It should be called a cold water tank, because you're heating up the water. You're not trying to heat up hot water. So I say they should be called a cold water tank, not a hot water tank. But that's me. That's one of my pet peeves. And I've seen it before where they put a 90, they put a nipple, and they put a close nipple in here and thread that in there so the temperature well sits and everything. But the only problem is with a hot water heater relief valve. I'll use the term so I don't get anybody confused. A hot water relief valve is it goes by temperature and it goes by pressure, which is anywhere from 150 to 180 pounds. This needs a 50 psi relief valve, and strictly a relief valve, a PSI relief valve, not a temperature relief valve, strictly a pressure relief valve. So if you see one of those white dip tubes coming down for this Sta-Rite heater, somebody sold you the wrong bill of goods. All you need is a pressure relief valve. Keep in mind, even on hot water tanks, we'll call them hot water tanks and all these relief valves, they should be checked at least once a year. I say 4 times a year. And all you simply do is open it, let some water out, and close it. Because what happens on these units, they don't get used, and the spring is so heavy it starts folding around the seat, and when it needs to pop, it doesn't. It's just set it in there. And think about sitting in your favorite couch. If you sat there for 2 days, you wouldn't want to get up. Okay, same thing with this thing. It doesn't want to pop because it's settling in the seat. So you always want to open them up, and they go, Harvey, I did mine and now it leaks. Well, if you do it often enough, it will not leak. Same as your angle stops on your sinks. All right. The only time you close them is when you got a problem with your sink or your faucet, and you close it the first time in 10 years and it leaks. Well, you don't use it that often. The seals start getting dried out. You move it from its temporary comfy spot, and it doesn't like it, and it's going to leak. So that's why you should check this. The book manual says at least once a year. I say 4 times a year. Same on a hot water tank. So this is a pet peeve. I've seen it numerous times where they use a hot water pressure relief valve, and it's wrong. They strictly want a pressure relief valve not exceeding 50 pounds. This is your main paragraph right here. Like I said, read and understand your manual, and it will really help you guys out a lot. Hopefully this was a little helpful tip from Harvey from All Parts Pool and Spa. Take care.